Hi, my name is Jen Mark, and I'm from Dynamic Living, Sports Medicine Clinic and Personal Training Studio. This is our third episode in our video series on strengthening, and we're going to be doing the glutes, which are one of the most important aspects in building a strong body. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you have consulted and informed your doctor that you will be exercising and that you are cleared for activity. I also want to make sure that you have spoken to your athletic therapist if you have an injury around the hip or the pelvis. And if you have any discomfort or sharp pain during the exercises, that you consult with your athletic therapist before you continue. So our first exercise is going to be stimulating the glutes to get them to fire before we actually ask them to work. So I want your feet just about hip width apart. We're going to go into that quarter squat that we saw in the first episode, and your hands are going to go just on the outside of your knees. So in that quarter squat, again, your knees will be in line with your second toe. And I can still see my toes because I'm sitting back just a little bit. So hands on the outside of your knees, and you're going to push into your hands. So your knees are going to push out and your hands are going to push in. So you're going to push against your hands, resistance, and I want you to hold it for a good 10-15 seconds. Nice slow count. Okay, and then you come back up, and then when you get into that again, you sit back so I can see my toes, hands on the outside of my knees, and pushing your knees against your hands, resistance. You should feel right up into that hip area again, into your glutes, to make sure that you're doing it properly. For our next exercise, it's one of my favorites. We're going to be doing a one leg stiff leg deadlift. Okay, so this is the leg that's going to be on the floor, so it's this glute that I'm going to be working. Okay, my knee's just a little bit bent, and again, it stays in line with my second toe. I don't want the knee to fall in past my midline. So I'm going to start off nice and straight. I'm lifting my right leg up, and then as I lift that leg up, I lean forward and back up again. Okay, so as this right leg lifts up, I'm reaching forward with my upper body, keeping my back nice and straight. Let me show you from the other angle. So this is the leg that I'm working. Okay, my knee stays nice and soft and in line with my second toe. My hips and my shoulders are nice and square forwards. As I lift this leg up, I lean forward. So I should feel the stretch down the back of my leg and also in my left hip. And I'll show you from this side. This is the hip that's working. These are the glutes that are working. As I lift that leg up, I lean forward and back up again. Most important part is to keep my back straight, not to curl it to reach the floor. Good, and being on one leg is going to work the stability in the hip as well as work the glutes. So for our third and final exercise today, we're going to be working the big part of the glutes, so the Glute Max. Okay, so lying right at the edge of the mat here. This is the leg that I'm going to be working. So this leg is just out of the way, up in the air. Again, like we did at the very beginning, I want you to squeeze your glute, and you're just going to lift your hip right up in the air and back down again. Squeeze your glute, lift your hip up in the air and back down again. So you should be feeling it in your hamstring as well as your glute, but I really want to make sure that you feel it in your glute, okay? If that's too easy or you don't feel the exercise, squeeze your glute, lift up, only come down about halfway and come back up again. That will continually fire the glute instead of making it let go in between, okay? Then when you do the other side, other leg goes out of the way, squeezing your glute, lifting your hip up, coming all the way back down, or squeezing your glute, lifting up, halfway back down again, and lifting up again. So that concludes our third episode for today. If you have any questions, please let me know at www.dynamicliving.me. Our phone number is 647-351-2649 if you have any questions or want to know more information. Thank you.